Hello, vinyl community. This is Matt, and I'm sorry I've been kind of AWOL for 2 or 3 weeks. We had family who came to stay for about a week, and it always takes a few days to recover. And and I've been meaning to start posting videos again for several days or a week or more, but finally tonight's the night. So just wanted to um, give a quick little update. I have some recent records that I bought, a couple of CDs. So yeah, let's look at the records. Okay, start off with, we have John Lennon, Imagine. I probably don't need to say too much about this absolute classic, of course. This is the 2015 reissue. Um, It does have a couple of bends, and if you can kind of make it out, there's some bends in the corners of the sleeve here. But the record itself, despite having cat hairs on it, is in really nice condition. Once I've run it through the spin clean, it'll probably be EX, I would think. And this was really cheap. This was well under $10 on eBay, but definitely cheaper than if I'd have tried to have bought this from, Amazon or something. So I saw it. It was, I want to say even with shipping, I might have only paid like $8 or $9 for it. So a pretty good deal. Next up, Johnny Cash, The Holy Land. I sort of didn't mean to buy this. Again, this is an eBay purchase. And actually all of these records that I'm going to be showing you are eBay purchases. I found a seller who was selling off a bunch of his records, and the starting price was 99 cents each, and I think it was either combined shipping or it was like a flat shipping rate no matter how many you bought. So I put bids on like 10 of them, thinking, well, that's a pretty good deal. There were a few on there that I really wanted, and I thought, okay, if I get one or two of those and then I get a couple more, then that's great. So what I didn't really plan on was this being the only one, the only auction that I ended up winning. It's okay. I mean, I'm not like a huge Johnny Cash fan. I like some of his stuff. I do have a couple of his albums, but it is what it is. So I ended up paying 99 cents plus like $4 or $5 shipping, which is probably still a reasonable price. It is in really nice conditions, and actually it's in great condition. The front cover is interesting. I was not very familiar with this album. I think I'd heard of it, but I'd never listened to it before. I'm not sure I'd ever even seen the front cover of it before. But it's like one of those sort of stereo images. I forget what you call them, but where you can tilt it back and forth, and it's kind of like a weird sort of 3D effect on here. But it looks like it's actually been stuck onto the front. I need to do more research, but my guess is that the record's actually shipped with this, but like inside the sleeve. Kind of like how Sergeant Pepper came with the mustache and the things you could cut out. I wonder if the record came with this and the original owner at some point did what you were supposed to do with it and stick it on here, because I think it is the same image that's underneath it, just obviously a regular flat, normal, non-3D version of it. But it's kind of cool. I kind of like it. So I did give this a real quick listen on YouTube. Seems okay. It's obviously religious in nature, but yeah, it's Johnny Cash. Like I said, not a huge fan, but I certainly appreciate the artistry for sure. Okay, next up we had the Allman Brothers Band, Brothers and Sisters. Of course, the most well-known track on here will be probably Jessica, but I'm not too familiar with the album, to be honest with you. I mean, I've never owned it before getting it. It's been on my wish list for a little while, and I just held out for a good price on eBay finally. And again, I think this was, even with shipping, it was under $10. And it's in really nice condition, really nice condition. I really dig the front cover and the back cover as well. So let me just take the record out of here. I don't know. It's just a sort of time of innocence captured in a split second in a photo. You know, I like that. Next up we have, oh, David Bowie, Let's Dance. I'm also not a massive Bowie fan. I think this will be the third or fourth album of his that I have, so it's not like I have a whole ton of albums. Um, and it's not that I dislike his work, but some of it's a little too eclectic for my taste, I guess. A little, I don't know, too dark, a little too glam. Some of it, some of the 70s stuff. But again, I certainly appreciate his artistry, and you know, I got to thinking about it, and I do like a lot of his songs. You know, Space Oddity, all the classics, of course, Starman, etc., etc. I do like a lot of them. It's just, yeah, again, I just never got super into him. He was always just okay in my book, but I certainly appreciate his kind of legendary status. Um, in the audio world, and so I got this on eBay again. It was a great price, well under $10 even with shipping. I think it might only be like $7 or $8 with shipping. And of course, it's got three huge hits on it. We have China Girl, Modern Love, and the title track Let's Dance. I'm not sure if any other tracks on here were released as singles, but those three were all massive hits, and they would be three of well, Modern Love and China Girl will be two of my favorite Bowie tracks. Let's Dance, I can take it or leave it, but yeah, really pleased to get that. And then the final record is the band Anthology. I don't think I showed this before. If I did, I'm sorry, but I kind of we're not posting any videos for a few weeks. I kind of lost track a little bit of what I showed last time. But of course, you know, the band, legendary. What can you say? All of their big hits. This is a two LP compilation. Up on Cripple Creek, The Wait, and all the good stuff. It's on the Purple Capitol label, and yeah, I mean, just really good stuff. I actually kind of wanted their the self-titled album, the first one, but it's a little bit pricey, and this came up on eBay. And you know, it's really got all the songs I wanted on it, and it wasn't very expensive. Again, this one might have been about $10 plus shipping, so maybe I paid like 12 or 13 altogether. But I think that's pretty reasonable. Let's see, a couple of CDs as well, just to finish things up. The Best Dance Album in the World Ever, Part 4. I do have Parts 1 and Part 2 as well. I don't have Part 3 yet. That's kind of on the to get list. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I'm actually a pretty big fan of 90s dance music, specifically British 90s dance music. Yeah, it was kind of my era, you know. I was a teenager in the 90s. I had a lot of like dance compilations back then, and so one of these days I will do a video on British, mostly British dance music, primarily from the 90s. And it's just got great stuff on it. You know, you got like Snap, Corona, Culture Beat, Massive Attack, M People, Ace of Base, Black Box. You know, it's just good stuff. And then finally, Stock Aitken Waterman Gold. I've mentioned Stock Aitken Waterman before in a few videos, and in fact I even dedicated an entire video to showing you my Stock Aitken and Waterman produced albums that I own. But this is just kind of a 3 CD set of, for the most part, their greatest hits. There are 1 or 2 omissions, but you know, it's got all the classics on it. Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up, and again, for those of you who don't know, Stock Aitken Waterman were just huge music producers in Great Britain primarily in the mid to late 80s, although they were still around in the early 90s too. And yeah, their heyday though was probably, I want to say 1987 through 1989, maybe through 1990. After that, they kind of started to decline. Their sales started to decline. But they, the artists that they had on their roster, yeah, Rick Astley and Bananarama, Dead or Alive, Kylie Minogue, Samantha Fox. And it's just really good stuff. You know, you've got Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up, Bananarama, Venus, Dead or Alive, You Spin Me Around, and it's really good. I do like Stock Aitken Waterman. It's, you know, I'm not going to claim it's the best or the deepest music that's ever been written by any means, but again, it's nostalgic. It was kind of my era. I was around, let's see, 8, 9, 10 years old when they were really big in the UK, so it's nostalgic. The only thing I wish they would have changed is I like the fact that it's a three disc set, but disc 3 just doesn't do it for me. It's like it's an extended mixes disc, so it's almost like a bonus CD. And so I guess if you look at it that way, how can you complain? But I think it's a missed opportunity. They could have filled up the whole disc with more of their songs. There's a whole bunch of them that I can think of. And the other thing that was disappointing was the booklet in here. It's just a plain generic booklet with the usual boring copyright information inside of it. And oh hey, you can download some ringtones if you want to. So if anybody wants a Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up ringtone, the information's right here. But yeah, I thought, you know, it's supposed to be like the gold package. I thought they'd have come out with a nicer booklet. Had pictures and information about each track. I think that was a little bit of a missed opportunity, particularly because this is expensive to buy. I don't know how expensive it was at the time, but if you can get away with buying this for $10, you've done pretty well. And I think I spent about $10 on it. Again, I held out, and finally it came up and it was like $10, and so I jumped on it. So I did get a few other bits and pieces, but nothing really of note. You know, I got a CD cleaner. I haven't opened it yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the recent purchases. Thank you as always, guys, for watching, for subscribing, and until next time, bye-bye.